office at 572-0383 or 572-0215. REV-UP St. Lucia, the alpha of radio.
Up next, Harddrive, brought to you with the compliments of Rambali's Funeral Parlor.
At Rambali's Funeral Parlor, we truly care. During life's most difficult moments, we want you to know you are not alone.
At Rambali's, we are dedicated to providing dignity, compassion, and comfort when you need it the most.
Our caring team is here to walk with you every step of the way, whether it's in planning a gentle farewell or celebrating the beautiful life of your loved one.
We understand how precious they are, and we promise to honor their memory with the utmost respect and love.
Let us help you find peace and solace during this challenging time.
Please reach out to us at
758-452-2021, Castries, or 758-454-9239, Latuni, Viewfort, or visit us at ramballysfuneral.com.
We're here for you, ready to listen, support,
and serve with heartfelt compassion. You can lean on us.
At Rambali's,
we care.
Hello there, good morning, good afternoon, good night to our listeners and to our viewers in St. Lucia and across the globe, especially those of you checking us out on Facebook, on YouTube, and also on X. I don't know if we're on DBS today, but if we are, welcome to the folks viewing on DBS. If not, that's cool. Let's say good morning to the management and staff of DBS, especially the Managing Director, Linda. Okay, so welcome to Harddrive for today, Friday, the 13th of February. Wow, the weekend is already upon us. Janice, good morning to you, Lady J.
Mm-hmm. Morning, Andre.
The weekend is already upon us. My gosh, man.
Yeah.
But was it you telling me that the reason we feel it comes by so quickly is because we're busy?
That's right.
You said that, right?
Yeah, we're occupying ourselves. We're doing things, so it really runs fast. When we sit around, it's going to just scroll, take hours. The 24 hours seem like 48 hours.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
We're busy, so that's why it moves by so quickly.
So how are you doing?
I'm good, Andre. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, looking lovely as always.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Andre, in case the listeners are, I don't know if they can see us right now because I haven't put on my, okay, there we go.
They can see.
I haven't put my laptop on, but we've got the names in the box already for the Valentine's
Draw,
yes.
That's correct.
Don't forget, we're giving away the dinner for two.
After.
After. That's compliments of Cadas. I hope they did their homework. Andre, because I mentioned it and I said, go to your homework. You also mentioned it on Harddrive. Yes. But before I left REV-UP Center, I mentioned it. So I hope they were listening because we would like to get some calls in and we would like to get persons who can answer the 3 questions correctly.
Yeah. And the 3 questions all about Cadas Bakery. Okay?
Yeah.
So as Lady J is saying, hope you did your research on Cadas Bakery because if you did the research, you most likely you'll get the answers to these. Well, I mean, it's simple because I'm seeing the answers. So I guess for somebody
Andre,
else,
you're right. 2 of them were 2 of them I would get.
Right, but there's one.
There's one that you have to think. Yeah,
yes,
you would have to think
for sure.
Yeah.
So that's coming up. That giveaway compliments Cadas Bakery is coming up following our draw for our love story. Right. So that draw is coming up at exactly 11 o'clock this morning. And after that, now we'll be giving away this dinner for 2 at the Bay Gardens Hotel, compliments Cadas Bakery.
And don't forget, Andre, we have the young lady joining us today from JJ's Paradise.
Yes, she's the marketing manager at JJ's Paradise. Her name is Enya Williams. She'll be joining us at 11 o'clock this morning as we, conduct the draw. So no doubt, Lady J, she'll take the name of the ultimate winner. And I guess she'll get in touch with that lucky person.
Yes.
So don't forget, you can win yourself a staycation, compliments JJ's Paradise. Okay, couples massage, compliments Blue Lotus Spa and Wellness, 2 health kits for male and female, compliments Dalkan Pharmacy on Coral Street, and also 2 gift packages, male and female, which includes snacks, chocolates, and candy, compliments the Gift Fairy.
I love that.
All that can be.
I need to know where they're situated.
One lucky winner, today's winner of the Our Love Story. Okay,
Can't wait.
and you know, Lady J, I think you know at the beginning it was taking a while to pick up and so on, because I think it's fairly new to the St. Lucian public in terms of that sort of topic, right? So I think we were taking a little time to kind of like, you know, masticate this thing and chew on it and swallow it, and then, you know, that sort of thing. So
I think it was more for the reasons that they're not sure if they want to, if their partners would agree. I think it's some of them had that thought
maybe.
first, you know.
Okay. Maybe so.
Or if I'm going to talk about a previous lover, will my present lover feel indifferent?
But Lady J, I would imagine that if you're going to be calling, you'll be calling about your present lover. I can't imagine you calling about some past lover. And you have one, you have a guy, somebody in your life, whether it's a male or female. To me, that would be very disrespectful. You know what I'm saying?
But if you're trying to show us how you met this one and you want to go to the past, it could be positive or negative, because it could be you've been cheating and that's why you've met this new one. But at the same time, the stories, Andre, people like exciting, contradictory, you know, that sort of thing. So they would want to listen to these kind of stories. But when it comes to Valentine's, of course, this might be a no-no sort of story. You want something more loving and understanding, and, you know, like the two stories we heard yesterday. Oh, beautiful stories.
All of them were beautiful. All of them. So I'm already planning for next year Valentine's, you know, folks. I already have something hot. Something hot coming up for next year Valentine's.
Write it down, Andrew. Write it down before the thoughts disappear.
I actually typed it already.
Great.
I actually typed it.
And saved.
I also have. We also have something really outside the box coming up for Mother's Day and Father's Day as well.
Andrew, what are we doing for Independence?
Well, you know, it's not really anything that you know, you can really celebrate on a radio station. I mean, what can you really do, right? You tell me, what can you really do except give a prize or something? I was just thinking, right? Unless of course you have a series on slavery or the whole emancipation or an aspect of slavery. Yeah, maybe that.
Or just St. Lucia on the whole being independent from 1979. You know.
Sorry, Bonji, sorry. I was talking about slavery. I'm sorry.
History. You're thinking of history.
I'm sorry. So we're talking about independence.
We're talking about independence, St. Lucia's independence on the 22nd, which is next week.
Maybe somebody would have like a series of programs detailing, you know, the whole history, as you said, how it started and everything. But then again, I don't know. You have to really be thinking every year outside the box. Like, what else do you have to come up with? But that's a good idea.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
Because, you know, there are a lot of the children who are still going to school who may not have the whole history from 1979. But the Queen was here in St. Lucia, and, you know, John Compton carried us through, and were we ready at the time, and where are we now? I think that would be nice if somebody could come in and discuss that, or persons could call us, you know, on that day and let us know, especially those who were present for the occasion and were, I would say, old enough to tell us what happened, and not tell us what they were told, but I witnessed it, and, you know, that sort of thing.
It'll be good to have somebody who is really on with the history, and somebody who's a good storyteller, like to have a series, series of programs leading
like
up
Father
to independence.
Anthony.
Exactly.
Oh man, he's the right person. Are you listening, Father Anthony?
I
hope you are. We might probably have to give him a call.
Yeah, maybe that's something we could.
He draws you in, Andre. When he speaks, he draws you in for sure.
I love a good story, and I love a good storyteller as well. Don't you? I love a good story.
Yeah. Someone who can grab you in, just like a book. If you're reading a book and the first 2 pages you're ready to fall asleep, Andre, it's like, oh my God, why did I buy that book?
That's true.
You know? But if the book grabs you, Andre, I can sit sometimes 4 o'clock in the morning, I'm still reading the book.
You can't put it down.
I can't put it down.
You can't put it down.
You know?
Yes.
And that's a good thing. So that's what we mean. If we have somebody like this that could really capture the listening audience about, you know, our 47th anniversary and what happened the first year in 1979, that would be great.
We'll have to work on that for next year.
Yes.
Okay? Alrighty. So, anything you want to mention before we move on? Because
apart from
we
the
have
fact
to end
that
at
Mia
11.
Motley thanked everyone. Yes. It's big and bold. Her photo and her, I guess, her 30 people. I didn't count, but there are lots of pictures at the back of her. Maybe it's some ministers. I'm not sure. She thanked everyone.
And just to be sure, remember you spoke about the leader of the opposition. Basically, well, I don't think he's actually resigned, but he's indicated that he will be stepping down. So it's not official as yet. Because I thought,
well, the minute you say it, people are going to post.
Yes.
And the news going to post.
Yes. So folks, so the reality is that he's indicated that he will be stepping down.
Right.
So he hasn't stepped down officially
or have spoken
as yet.
to his crew.
His name is Ralph Thorne. His story is an interesting one. He was a member of the ruling Barbados Labour Party, and I don't know what happened. But he left. They said he actually crossed the floor.
Yeah.
And then he went to the other side, and the other side just can't seem to win not even one seat over the last 3 elections.
Maybe he thought he could have bring in new and exciting plans for the party, and he decided, okay, I can help on this side. Who knows? And who knows how long he's been thinking of moving to the other side?
Yes.
Because you have to be thinking.
I wonder if it can ever get to the stage where a government is doing such a good job that the opposition basically has almost no chance of winning, that many seats. I wonder if it can ever get to that point that people are so satisfied with what the government is doing, or an MP for that matter, that person is just there perpetually until maybe they resign the seat or something.
Andre, that will never happen.
What will never happen?
That they would agree with whichever government that's in power. No one. They will always find faults with that individual or some persons. Andre, we live in a house with our parents, and no matter how good they are to us, there's something they've done or something that I don't like what mom did today. I don't like what dad did today.
Right. That may be so, but would it be so egregious that you feel I need to leave the house? You understand? That's what I'm saying.
Sometimes, Andre, hello, I was a teenager.
Right.
What do you mean?
Right. But I'm saying,
teenager,
do you think
I didn't
that,
do it because
do you think that it'll ever get to the point where people will be so... Look at it in the case of the Barbados Labour Party. 3 elections and the opposition cannot win a seat. That tells you something. So I'm just asking the question, do you think it is possible that this can continue in perpetuity, that they just keep winning no matter what, that the opposition just can't seem to get it together?
No, I don't think they will continue winning. They might continue winning. Let's put it that way. Yeah, they could continue winning, but I think at some point they will start losing seats because at some point some of the ministers get complacent. And that is what
that's starts.
Switch. Yeah, exactly. When you get complacent, and then, like they say, someone else can do better, So the ministers have to remember that they have to be on their P's and Q's every single day. It's like a brand new day, It's like you've just won. Not I won a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, but I've just won. And I've got to really do my best for the people, and for the country, of course.
Yes. Okay, well, I guess since the BLP won the elections, the Prime Minister declared today, Friday, a public holiday.
Yes, because everybody wanted yesterday.
Banks are closed.
I like what she said.
Femi, no doubt, all public officers, it's a holiday for them. Schools are closed as well. When the Labour Party won the elections in December, I really thought they would have given a holiday after the win.
Oh, you mean St. Lucia?
In St. Lucia, I thought so.
Andrew, we have so many holidays in St. Lucia, so I wasn't surprised. But Andrew, I like what she said. She says, we don't just do things ad hoc, basically. Y'all are here, yes, y'all will hear it, but everybody won't hear that, to just give a holiday. So, leave Thursday alone, and we're going to give a holiday Friday. So everybody will know it's a holiday. I like that.
Yes.
I really like that. So it's well planned. The children stay away. Half of the children haven't left their homes, So that's good. That's good.
Well, Barbadians, enjoy it, man. Enjoy it.
Yes,
and I'm very happy to hear her say that she's going to be tackling poverty. I have a display pic on my phone. Sorry. And it talks about poverty. And it says how to stay poor. And it tells you how to stay poor if you want to, right? Watch TV all day. You have no hobbies, no life passion. You have no passion in your life. There's nothing that interests you that you really want to excel at. You're in a comfort zone. You just feel comfortable, relaxing, reclining on your recliner, waiting for magic to happen. Some people tell you, when
you're dreaming. You dream all day.
If I ever win the lottery, but they don't play. They don't play, right?
Dreaming, yeah.
You're just dreaming, and that's it. There's no action. And the other one, blaming others. Yeah, for mistakes and so on. That's a big one.
Andre, please send me that. I'm sure lots of people will want to have that. Yes, please send it. Yeah, not right now, but when you get the chance. Very good, Andre.
So I don't know how Miss Motley plans to tackle that, but I'm very curious to know how. because poverty has been around since Noah was a boy.
Exactly.
I mean, in the days of Jesus Christ, it was rife.
And is the country
rife.
rich enough to be able to do what she's saying?
Yeah, I know
It
Jamaica
will take
is
some time.
Jamaica is heading for this first world status. Jamaica is heading that direction, but the poverty thing, boy, that's a tough one. So I wish her all the best. And if she can get the secret, if she knows exactly how it's done, I guess no doubt other Caribbean leaders are going to be following suit.
And Andre, Barbados is known all around the world. Believe me, all around the world. And with Rihanna being there and the others, they're doing even better for Barbados.
Yes.
And St. Lucia, we're up and coming. It's happening. Some of our entertainers are really pushing the envelope. But when I lived in Asia, Andre, and I went to the post office, because remember there were no cell phones at the time when I went. And where are you talking about? That's what the people what are you talking about?
Yes, that's
They had
true.
no idea where St. Lucia was.
That is true.
But Andre, they knew, and they would say, Barbados. And I had to say yes, because, how are they going to know how to put stamps on my letter? They had no idea. But with me being in the country, this lady, this staff member, now, because I stayed at the counter and I was talking to her, the lady pulled out her map. Yeah, she pulled out a map for her to see where St. Lucia was. And it does look like a little dot, Andre, next to the other countries.
Yes.
But we were getting there. And, when we got into the country, I remember the immigration guy didn't know either. And they had, I don't know if St. Lucia do that, but they had their maps. I don't know why, but they had big map. And I remember he telling hubby, show me where St. Lucia is. Right?
Yeah.
And Andre, you have to, let me be honest, you have to look for it, Andre. You have to look for it.
Yes,
It's a little dot on the map compared to when we look at the Caribbean. But when you look at the world in general, the Caribbean islands, little dots.
But I wonder what Barbados was able to do back then that made them so popular across the globe. I wonder what is it that
Tourism
they
was
did.
always very high in Barbados, I found. Yeah. And they always called it Little Britain. Yeah, Little Britain, they always called it that. So I don't know what the reasons were. But anytime I traveled to any Asian country, Andre, that was one of the first islands that they would mention.
Yeah. And I think they know of the Dominican Republic, and they will tell you, sorry. I think there's a place called Grenada. I think Grenada, and they would kind of mix it up with the Grenada.
They do.
They mix it up, and the Dominican Republic, Dominica, they kind of get a little mixed up. But I remember I was in the U.S. I was in California. That's many years ago, and I had to give a speech about each person had to give a speech about their country, which I did, and of course, I spoke about the two Nobel laureates and the pitons, the driving volcano. I spoke about all of that, and a few people came after and said to me, do you have cars there in St. Lucia? Do you have cars there? Yeah, so they don't, most Americans just know about America.
But I'll be honest with you, half of them haven't traveled outside
of
their country. Whereas we in the Caribbean, we travel a lot. Even if flights, even if the tickets, even if the fares are expensive, we do travel.
They're a lot, very, very isolated in a sense. I guess they think that everything revolves around them, because when they had I watched the CNN news and it said international news. It was just about America.
Yeah,
that's what it was. Yeah.
It is international, but it's your country.
Yeah, they never heard about any Nobel laureates. So no wonder up to now we're still working really, really hard, right?
No, these are Nobel laureates. Nobel laureates from St. Lucia, Nobel laureates on
from
the
St.
whole.
Lucia, St. Lucia.
Oh, that. Oh, because I was saying that's ignorance, Andre. That's all the Nobel laureates in the news and so on.
Yeah, they still haven't really heard. But as I said, we've come a long way. We've come a long way for sure.
We have.
For sure. So let's hope one day we can get to that sort of status that Barbados
and when
enjoys.
we lived over there was only one other St. Lucian. He was living in Bali. And he had heard of my hubby in Malaysia. And we finally went over and spent some time at that hotel. So these were the only two St. Lucians living in Asia at the time. But right now, Andre, St. Lucians are all over the world.
Yeah.
China, all over the world, all over Japan, and St. Lucia, of course, sending our St. Lucians to study. in Asia. So, we're getting there. We're on the map now.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Silton has been asking me for the last few days to give her a little shout out because, Silton has her rubs that she sells.
Right, yes.
So, folks, just in case you forgot, Silton is still there with her rubs. She says she goes through the city, I think maybe weekdays. And it's interesting, she says she takes a look. She looks at people and see if they have swollen feet or sometimes you say to them, hey, listen, I have a rub that I can help you. So Silton's rub is available by calling her at 716-6018. Okay, 716-6018.
So, Andre, we should invite her to come over and talk for a little 5 minutes about the rub and, let them actually see,
Well, no problem. I will certainly pass on her number to you. Nora, you can make some time to invite her in. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, because she keeps talking about it. But, hey, the listeners want to see her and they want to see the product. So bring one of each, lay it out there,
Yes. And I know she makes a rub for children. Which is the intensity of the adults. Yes, a lot less.
The dosage.
Potent. For the children. Okay, so Silton's rub, you can call her 716-6018. So Silton, you say I didn't forget. All right. Okay, now this morning. Well, last night when I left here about 8:30, going to 9, I got home, checked my tap. Of course, I have my tank that is on. Yeah. So I could tell from the pressure that I know the water hadn't come in as yet. So that was that. And I said, okay, let's see what happens this morning. And to my pleasant surprise, when I opened my tap, there was potable water. Okay, and I was very, very pleased about that. The pressure wasn't that great, but I think it's a lot better right now because the WASCO did say that they'll be opening the whole system gradually, right? So eventually everybody will get. I know I spoke with Janice. Janice was saying in the CDC area they still haven't gotten any potable water as yet. But anyway, it's clear that the aging infrastructure is the problem, and this has to be addressed.
That's right.
Year after year, time after time, we hear WASCO coming out asking for an increase and, making requests of the government, of the public to pay a little more and so on. So, I don't know. Are we going to be... The problem is that we have people who are poor in the country. So, when these increases are being requested, the powers that be now have to take into consideration the impact on the most vulnerable, especially where water is concerned. So it's a tough one. There's talk out there that WASCO is looking for a 32% increase. That's as a talk out there. To be honest with you, I think I'd be willing to pay more.
It's understandable because of what they have to go through. But I understand the fact that for some people it might be difficult, yes. But it's understandable, Andre, because it's not very high, really, what we're paying for water compared to what we're paying for other utilities. But yeah, you are right. Some people they would think that the 32% would be too much for them. But let's just see how long.
No, folks, that's a speculation on my part. That's what I heard. That's what they're looking for. But
so minus the percent, what you're hearing is that they will increase. Right,
they're looking for an increase because the infrastructure is what they call aging.
Yeah,
it's like Baikila since Noah was a boy. So it's going to cost a lot of money to upgrade and to make sure that we can adequately serve the general population with a regular supply of water. And water is life, and that's a fact. And the chief executive, the chief executive officer, Zilta George Leslie, also has has warned us to expect some more issues with water pressure because of the expected drought. Or drought conditions. That's going to be. Remember, we've spoken about that already.
Yeah.
So, folks, two things we can expect is this possibility of drought. Let's hope that the predictors are wrong, the climatologists and so on. Let's hope that they're wrong about that we don't have to go through that. But it's quite possible we may have to go through a real serious heat wave. They said that they predicted that it's going to be just as hot at nights.
Yeah.
Right. It's going to get really, really, really hot. So we just better get
enjoying it,
and that's going to affect the pressure because at the catchment areas there, the water will not be as forceful as it normally is, and the volume of water, and that also applies to the John Compton Dam as well. But have you ever been there? You see when that there's a marker for the water. That thing goes all the way down. That happens a lot.
I haven't been, but when they show it on the screen, I see it.
Yeah, there's a spillover. There's a spillover, and sometimes the water is way
down,
below that spillover.
Yeah. So that's where we obviously in trouble for sure. But Andre, people can do a lot of things. Again, it's money. The guttering, make sure you have guttering. So if and when the rain falls, you can direct it into a tank or whatever you have. So you have some water, and some people have cisterns, or some people have over on, tanks outside or on the roof.
Yes.
So these are ways of having your, as we call it, overflow, a little bit of water just in case for a couple of weeks, a couple of months.
There's something I want to talk about as regards this announcement by the Chief Executive Officer of WASCO. This has been happening for a while. I don't know why that happens, but whenever we have either, for example, you have the Chief Medical Officer speaking in the case of Zilta George, you having some music being played in the background. I don't know what this is all about. This has been happening. Let me play your clip so you know what I'm talking about. Okay, I don't know if this thing is done at maybe in a studio or something, and some bright person. Sorry, I take that back. I'm sorry. Let me take that back. Somebody decides to add some kind of theme song or something in the background. That doesn't make any sense. Listen, when people like the Chief Medical Officer come on, this is serious business. The Chief Medical Officer don't just come and just play games. You understand? Zilta George will not just come there to come and play games. This is serious business. So to have some kind of nice music in the background, to me, that doesn't make any sense. That's my little humble view. Just give it a little listen. You hear? So I played the wrong thing. Here we go.
Yesterday evening, our technical team successfully repaired 3 major leak areas on the 24-inch raw water pipeline at Millet. Following those repairs, we began a gradual reopening of the network to bring water back into the system and to you.
So
it's drowning her words.
It's irritating.
I don't know if it's irritating, but it's drowning what she's saying.
Yeah, because you're trying to listen to what the lady's saying.
Yeah, but the music
is there, so it's irritating. It's irritating.
True.
So I don't know whose idea that is. That's not a good idea. Cut that out. This is serious business.
Yeah, it should just
That's
be
not a joke.
Voice. Yeah.
You're
right.
The lady not a DJ.
What does that have to do with that? What do you mean her being a DJ?
No, I'm saying to have music in the background. That's what DJs do.
Okay.
Yeah.
You mean the person who's putting the music?
When I'm speaking on there, I have music in the background. I'm a DJ.
Okay.
So I'm saying Zilta James Leslie is not a DJ. So there can be no music in the background, and they do the same thing when the Chief Medical Officer speaks. So please cut that out, okay?
That's a very good observation, Andre, because I heard it, but I guess it didn't even dawn on me like you to talk about it. I didn't even think of asking the question as to why they're playing the music, but it's drowning her words for true. It is, definitely.
Okay. So let's hope that
the
powers that be, that they take note. Okay, so moving. So thank God we have pipe-borne water. I'm very pleased about that. And if WASCO is asking for an increase, to be honest with you, all right, I think they should get an increase. As to how much, I guess the powers that be will have to work that out, because you must take into account that they are the most vulnerable who just look at the lady with the 7
children. But let
me
just say something to you, Andre. Your voice is very powerful in the sense of when you speak, people listen. Be careful when you talk about that increase. Tone it down.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Being funny. In other words, when you speak for assistance or help or whatever, people listen and people come to your aid and people assist if they have to assist and so on. So you talking about you welcome the increase, Andre, it could very well happen.
Yes, and it's a good thing.
No, but for the other person, so I'm just saying, easy on it. You talk about it today, don't talk about it again.
No, we need to talk about it, Lady J, because as I said, and I was very, very, very careful to say that we have to take the most vulnerable into account, right? So the powers that be, when WASCO makes the request, now the powers that be, they will have to look at it now and say, okay, well, if not 30, I'm not sure exactly how much WASCO is requesting.
X%.
Yeah, but this is what is reasonable. Is reasonable. As to whether now.
Let's hope the word you just said there, reasonable.
Yeah. So let's hope that whatever that's reasonable will be reasonable for WASCO, and that WASCO can get out of this bind that they find themselves in.
Well, I mean, we have 180,000 people or so in St. Lucia. How many homes do we have? If everybody pays, and the thing is, if they pay and they pay on time, that's what works. because they can decrease or increase as much as they want. If you're not paying, the money is not coming their way, you know.
And
so
talking
people
about
need to pay.
Talking about most vulnerable, look at the situation with the lady in the Bel Air community who they evicted, right? 7 children. And this morning I had a caller, because that came up on What's on Your Mind this morning, that apparently the lady was unable to pay or to contribute to the bills, electricity, water, etc., etc. So people got fed up of that after a while and figured as though, well, listen, you know, you're not contributing. Well, I'm sorry that we can't continue like that. So that's why I said about the most vulnerable, because you have to take people like that into account. It's either
but I still don't understand. She's not contributing, so that means I can demolish the house?
Well,
I don't understand the two.
Well, it doesn't mean that you can demolish it. Okay. Let's put it like this. You have a friend of yours who comes and asks you if she can stay at your home. You have a spare room there, okay? And she's using the water, she's using the electricity, and you say to her before you agreed, well, listen, you're going to have to pay half of the utilities, and he's agreed. Okay, 6 months go by, he doesn't make a contribution. A year goes by, and you're trying to be you're very patient with him or her. 2 years making any contribution. I mean, after all, you're going to get
Yeah, Andrew, but you put them out, and if they don't come out, in my case, in the case that you explain in there, obviously I cannot mash up the home, because the person you're saying is in a room.
But what would you do? What would you do?
Get the police involved to get him or her out of my house.
Exactly.
But I wouldn't throw the person out and leave them homeless with 7 children. So, Andre, we have to get some help, Andre. Get the police, get who has to...
No, you were asking, you said you didn't see the connection. Right?
I didn't see the connection if the person mashing up the house under her.
I'm saying. Well, I don't even know if they
But isn't that what she said? That they...
Hold on. I'm hearing they remove the roof. That's what I'm hearing. I don't know.
That's a lot.
I don't know.
You remove the roof.
But I'm just trying to let's just put ourselves in the shoes of these people who find themselves where somebody is beginning to become an inconvenience in their life. So I'm just saying we also have to understand, right? But it doesn't mean that you have to handle the situation the way that they handle it.
Exactly, Andre.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I was also making the point when I said about the increase in the water, that you have people like that who are unemployed and they have children, and so the powers that be have to take all that into consideration, because in St. Lucia we don't have a system where people can readily get assistance. Like, for example, in the US, you have unemployment, you have food stamps,
a lot,
and that is a way of kind of cushioning the effects of poverty.
Plus, there's also whatever the name is over there, where they actually bring food to certain people to their homes.
Exactly.
So you get your breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Exactly.
At least that's one minus for bills.
Yes. In St. Lucia, I'm not sure if you get that sort of thing every day. I know on weekends, people go out and assist and so on. Yes,
but not daily.
Right.
You're right.
So you have to take all that into consideration and say, well, boy, based on this and that and the other. So I don't know, boy. This is really, really, really rough. Really, really rough. For some people, they have it really, really tough. And then you have a situation now where the person, for whatever reason, is not contributing in a meaningful way. And you feel that, listen, I put up with this thing for that long, I can't put up with it anymore.
And
that's why people get evicted, right?
And I get that.
Especially after repeated warnings and notices and this sort of thing. But I'm just saying, for me personally, the only way is if I know that family is going to be safe, that there's, especially the children I'm talking about, if I have a place I'm renting, I can see how I can put the family out.
And Andre, that happened a lot during COVID. A lot of people lost homes, businesses, and so on. Because, how much patience can you have when you too have the issue of no money coming in or less money is coming in? So, it happens to us. But I think it's the way we carry out to whatever it is. And I think unless they wanted to destroy the house in general, and that's why she was given notice, I see no reason why the roof had to be removed. But again, if she was given notice because they wanted to demolish the house, then okay, I guess that's the start. We want to do it, and we're going to do it whether you're under the roof or not.
Yeah. And sometimes the courts do give you permission to do just that.
After some time, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes. But as I said, after repeated warnings, notices, that sort of thing, and then you have to move.
Yeah.
After
But
a
you've
while.
got to be honest when you're talking about it to say that, yes, I was given notice, but I really couldn't do anything about it. And I begged to remain, or you come out and you ask for assistance, And if you don't do that, how are you going to get assistance? So you're making matters worse for you and the kids.
Okay. Every year, there's this organization called Transparency International. And they are like the watchdog of governments across the globe in terms of their ability to contain or stop corruption. Because, corruption is rife
Rampant.
across
Everywhere.
this globe in every sector, almost every sector of society. And the sad thing or the ironic thing is that you think people who are poor tend to be more corrupt. It's probably on an equal footing. You have the poor, you have the rich, right? So everybody competing for corruption. All right?
Andre, sorry, why would you say you thinking people are poor that are corrupt?
But it's
Why
true.
would that?
Yeah.
Andre, I never thought of that.
Yeah, because they don't have access to resources as
Why would
a rich person. Ask me the question. What you asking me?
Why would there be? Why would you think the poor would be the most corrupt? Why? I mean, why are you thinking that way?
Yeah, because of poverty. You figure that they do almost anything to relieve their stress, to relieve their anxiety, to relieve the problems that they're going through. So
Really?
they will do, and the poor, right? They do corrupt things once they have an opportunity. I remember there was a vox pop that was done some time ago. I think I still have it on my phone. And they were asking people, what would you do if you were prime minister or something like that? And almost everybody said, they thief for money. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, yeah, that's what he was saying. Yeah, because you figure that's the only way you can make it. So the point I was making is that we generally tend to think of poorer people as being more corrupt. No, it's just as bad with the rich.
I'm happy I never thought that.
Yeah, there are people who are in government, as we shall see in a little while. So Transparency International, that's their job now to monitor you, right, and to ensure that you try to limit corruption as much as possible. Now, they just came out with their survey, and they said that 2 countries, okay, who leading the pack in terms of almost zero corruption, okay, and these are these countries that every year they when they have the survey of this is the countries where they are happiest, the people are happy. You have Denmark and you have Finland, right? Those Nordic countries. I don't know what it is about their system, how they do it, but people are very happy to be living in those countries. And now they are topping the list in terms of their rankings, where the issue of corruption or the lack thereof in those 2 countries. So Denmark is ranked number 1, followed by Finland.
Very good.
So here's how they score them. So it's from 0 to 100. Now, if you are 100, that means you're doing well in terms of lack of
high to low. Okay.
Right? So if anywhere close to 100, you are seen as not very corrupt, okay, or not corrupt at all, okay. I didn't see what the numbers were for Finland and Denmark. They didn't actually give the actual figures, but they say that, hey, they're number 1. So I imagine they're somewhere close to 100, or
Right.
maybe even 100. So if you're anywhere near the 0, that means you are corrupt. You are really, really,
More
really
than
corrupt.
corrupt.
Yeah, anywhere near 0. And it makes for interesting reading. All right. So a score of below 50 usually means that a country has a serious corruption problem.
Of course.
So once it's below
Halfway.
50, serious corruption problem. All right. So let me give you the numbers. Jamaica is at number 44. And remember, I just said a score below 50 usually means that a country has a serious corruption problem. Jamaica is at number 44.
I believe that.
Okay?
That's
Barbados.
the country I'm waiting for.
Barbados is at number 68. Okay? The Bahamas, 64. St. Vincent and the Grenadines, 63. Dominica, 60. Grenada, 56. St. Lucia, 59.
Wow.
So
And
we're not close. But
We're right smack in the middle, actually.
I like that, smack in the middle there. Yeah, where how we are perceived in terms of corruption and
Corruption,
so on.
yeah.
So out of the score between 50 and 100, between a 0 and 100, and with 50 being and below 50, you got serious problems. St. Lucia is at 59. So you have other Caribbean countries scoring lower than Jamaica. Head at Trinidad and Tobago, 41.
I believe that.
Head at Guyana, 40.
I was thinking maybe 30-something.
And Haiti, that's at least the information that we have right now, is the lowest, 16.
I believe it, Andre.
Yeah.
I mean, these, like you explained in the beginning about when you're poor, what do you do?
Yes,
I mean,
exactly.
things are really happening to these people.
Exactly.
So, you know.
see? So sometimes poverty, right, does play its role, but also wealth plays its role as well, because there are people who are wealthy and they just feel they just need to have more and more and more. So they do corrupt things. So there's that organization that monitors this thing. And when
Andre,
you...
did you see Bali on that?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. Just these countries.
'Cause, you know,
I think
about Bali, and as far as I know, I don't know for now, but then it was bad over there.
Here's what Transparency International said. The 2025 CPI shows that corruption remains a serious threat in every part of the world. Yeah, a
Agreed.
serious threat in almost every part
They're
of the
not
world.
wrong.
And keep in mind, as I said, folks, you have corruption among the poor, corruption among the rich. You got to remember that. And you see it all the time. I don't have to go into any kind of details or anything, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
I follow world events very, very closely, right? And there's some people I think they just never seem to have enough. I remember when Elon Musk, he's the richest guy in the world, and there's speculation that he may be the first trillionaire in the world. Maybe in the next year or so, or even before that. He may become the first trillionaire in the world, right? This guy, when the board of Tesla said, we want to motivate Elon, want to motivate him so that he can stay with the company. They gave him a bonus of 40-something billion, not million, 40-something billion dollars to keep him motivated. Now, I thought a guy like that would say, guys, that's all right. I mean, you give that to the poor or something. I'm good. You know what he said? He said, man, these guys are the best guys in the world, man.
Yeah.
These are the best guys in the world.
But it's what he does. But it would be what next? What we should think of next is, who did he help with this money? With some of the money?
I don't know.
Then it would be okay.
I don't know.
It would be good to know.
I don't know if this guy does anything good. To be honest with you, I'm not saying he doesn't.
Help the poor.
I'm not saying he doesn't. I've never heard this guy doing anything really positive with his money. In fact, Bill Gates has been trying to get all these rich guys to come onto the foundation where they're going to give away all their wealth. First, like Musk don't not interested in that.
And Andre, the thing is, we don't even know if tomorrow we're falling and gone. So why not share? You have so much, why not share? And you start with, the lowest denomination of persons, the elderly who are not working, the little children who are in orphanages and places like that. These are the people we should be helping,
And talking about that, you can help Cuba as we speak.
Yeah, well.
Send a consignment of goodies to Cuba. That's a good place to start, I think. Look, Mexico just sent 2 ships there, laden with a whole lot of good stuff. They sent them, let me tell you what they sent. Folks, here's what Mexico sent to Cuba, and bravo. Bravo. They ain't just staying on the sidelines and just talking pappy show, right?
You're saying bravo before you tell us. Let's hear what they gave.
Yeah, you'll hear. And don't forget that man there, Donald Trump, is not eating nice. Okay, here's the guy who thinks that the way to get by is to be tough. Yeah, to be tough. You got to be tough, man.
To lead negatively.
Yeah, so he's not interested in helping the people of Cuba, and he cannot tell me he cares about the people of Cuba, because you don't. You can't tell me you care about people of Venezuela, because you really, really don't. You just want their oil. That's what you want. And you just want the system in Cuba to fall. That's what you want. So all this talk there about they're going to help the people of thing, and anyway. So here's what the ships had. They gave them 536 tons of food, including milk, rice, beans, sardines, meat products, even cookies. Yeah, because
you have the kids,
people want
yeah.
to pass a little
Sugar.
something in their mouth, if that, as they say, right? Cookies, canned tuna, and vegetable oil, as well as personal hygiene items.
Which is important.
So soap,
Toiletries.
deodorant. You understand what I'm saying?
Toilet paper.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. All right. And this is the Mexican president, Claudia Sheinbaum. And by the way, let me say bravo to her because, you know, the ladies now, when you see they're leading a country, they forget that they're, supposed to be the nurturers and this sort of thing. They want to be tough. Remember Eugenia Charles, Iron Lady, and Britain's Margaret Thatcher, Iron Lady. They think they have to be tough like men. No, this lady is showing the gentle side of her. So bravo to Miss or Miss, I don't know if she's married, Sheinbaum. Okay, so she said when those two ships return, she's sending more stuff for Cuba, right? And she said, I think she will send a support of a different kind, different kind.
Yeah.
You're telling me you see nothing better to do than to cripple a country like that? And them fellas are respect. Well, I don't know about respect. These guys strutting themselves across the globe, and their friends who love them. I was watching. There's this House Judiciary Committee. They were there interviewing this lady called Bondi. I forgot what position she holds in the U.S. government, but it seems as though these people have sold their souls, man, for Donald Trump.
Yeah,
they've sold their souls.
This guy he's good.
What
with his team?
Mate. Hegseth, the vice president, and what's the other one again? The Spanish one. He has Spanish ancestry. Look, I'm forgetting his name already. Right? All them fellas have sold their soul, man. To Donald Trump. Because the kind of things that they defend. You remember when the ICE thing came out, when they shot, the two people shot and killed two people, how they came out lying bold-faced to cover up and so on. These people have sold their souls, man. That's what I was telling you, right? You figure you expect that, maybe from the lower echelons. But these people are in the high echelons. They do all those things for what? What do you think they do that for? A position, A position. I was so disappointed when the time of Joe Biden, there's this black woman who was the ambassador, the U.S. ambassador to the United Nations. And this lady was there. And I seen this lady, man, voting against resolutions where they said stop the fighting in Gaza. And this lady, I know she's doing the bidding of the president, right, the leadership. But I said, I quit that job, man. I quit that job because you don't understand your history. It's clear, I watched this black woman. Then there's another one that was sitting in for a black fella, member encore. And they do it without any shame. No shame whatsoever.
Yeah, for Trump.
There's a way of
they believe they believe in this sort of restriction and firm ways and what he wants. That's what they believe in, Andre. And unfortunately, there are people like that.
Unfortunately,
that believe in anything that you do, whether it is good or bad, negative or not. That's who they want as their leader, and they will follow anything he or she wants. It's unfortunate, but that's how it is in the world.
I hope when the elections come, I really hope Americans send a strong message to Donald Trump by voting him out. Anyway, that's the end. Sorry. I'm sorry. What they should do is to elect a Democratic president, to send a message to them, right?
That's still another 3 years, Andre. You know what can happen in between now and December? Much less.
And I'll tell you something. The Democrats are going to have a lot of work to do because it's just like the situation in Barbados, right? They destroyed their credibility already. So that's why people voted for Donald Trump. So it's just a similar situation. So they're going to have to come really, really, really good. Really good.
People voted for Donald Trump. What do you mean?
Say again?
You just said that's why people voted for Donald Trump.
Yeah,
I thought you were saying... You were talking about Barbados and then you went back.
Yes, I was using as an example. I'm saying that they've messed up so much that similar to Barbados, it's going to be very hard for them to come back. The people may still vote Republican.
No.
You understand?
No.
You don't think so?
Nah, Andre. Look at what he's doing to these foreigners. And remember, I say foreigners, but you remember they are they do have their papers and they do have children over there, and he promised that he would not have kicked them out of the country, and he is doing that. So you think those people are going to vote if they can vote? All these people, the minorities you want to call them, these people are not going to vote for him.
But don't forget the base, huh? He has a base.
He does.
These people who support him no matter what.
But
that's one.
Anyway, let's first see who will be the opposition, because, depending on who the opposition are, then we can say if... But he can't go up again anyway, Andre. He's done his two.
Although
I'm
still speculating that this guy who thinks he's God's gift to the earth is going to do whatever he can to stay there. I really believe he's going to try something.
Well, he's trying, and it all depends on that has to go to court first for them before they can change anything. The laws, you can't just change laws just like that. So it will take some time, and I hope if he's trying, it will not be in his 3 more years.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if they find a way around it. I wouldn't be surprised. They find some way around it. I wouldn't be surprised.
It's been working for years with two terms.
But even if they find a way around it, I hope they would vote him out.
Well,
I hope so.
Well,
send a strong message to him. We don't want any more. But as you said there, who's the contender? Who do the Democrats have who can fill in that gap? Because Joe Biden definitely
he's out. He's out, Andre. He's out.
That's for sure.
Yeah,
and what's the name again? Kamala Harris. She's out as well.
Not necessarily. There was a post, I don't know if it is real or not, saying that she's thinking about it.
Well, she can think all she wants, because remember, the problem had to do with Gaza. Okay, a lot of Americans were sick and fed up of what was going on, and she came back. There's just same talking points. Joe Biden, the same foolishness. Israel has a right to defend themselves. One time he started hearing that kind of talk, so people just got turned off. I think they're going to vote for her when she started talking now. People say, "Oh my God, more of the same thing again."
And they still put themselves in trouble because look at what happened. So they should have voted for her, because America, all the people that were kicked out of America would have been in America today. So
maybe
they messed up.
Maybe
they messed up.
But for sure, the war would have probably still be on.
Yeah, that's debatable.
Okay, so I read a very, very interesting story this morning as we're about to end, and I think I'd like to share it. This is a clinical psychologist from the Western Regional Health Authority in Jamaica, and she's weighing in on this whole issue of parents who are separated. And she's encouraging separated parents to prioritize the well-being of their children. And this is important by supporting healthy relationships with both parents even when personal conflicts remain unresolved. Speaking in an interview with JIS News, Rose explains that separation can be emotionally complex and often requires parents to manage difficult feelings while keeping the children's needs at the forefront. While what we're asking of the parents is to challenge themselves to recognize the feelings that are related to the individual as a partner versus the feelings related to the individual as a parent. Okay? She says, I might despise the mother of my children or the father of my children, but my child has the freedom to love their parents. You must have that freedom to allow the children to love their parents. And if they choose to love their father, even if he's delinquent, that is the child's choice. And she's saying you need to separate your feelings from that.
And that's hard, Andre?
Yes, it's hard. But she's explaining, she's going to tell you why she's saying that. The senior clinical psychologist noted that this distinction can be particularly difficult for parents who carry the majority of the financial, emotional, and caregiving responsibilities, especially when the other person or the parent plays a limited role. So I guess you're upset, right? Rose acknowledged that parents who shoulder the greater burden of parenting may feel hurt, angry, or underappreciated, which can sometimes lead to tension or attempts to restrict contact between the children and the other parent. She explains that children often respond. Now, this is so important because a lot of people are saying, I don't understand that. The father not there for the children, but they love him. They love him. No matter what how he comes, they make him. But she explains that, and it's very important. She explains that children often respond positively to the presence of a parent, even when that parent is inconsistent, because they naturally long for connection. So that's why the children do that. The children just long for the connection with their father and their mother. I think it's a normal thing that God placed in all of us, and that's why the children react that way. So that explains maybe to those parents who don't understand, how come Missy checking for the children and they want their father? They want their father. It's because they long for the connection. That's really, really important. Okay? And she says there, however, children often develop their own understanding of relationships as they grow older. In other words, don't worry. They will see. Most children, as time passes, are able to make an honest assessment of what the relationship was like with their parents. So as they grow older, they realize what was really going on there with my father or my mother or whatever
Andre,
the case may be.
think back and you would say the same for yourself.
Yes, yes. So she's saying here that parents must carefully consider what is truly in the child's best interest.
Agreed.
Even when doing so is emotionally difficult. And it's true. It's true. It's really, really true. Yep, I found that very, very interesting.
So, Andre, were they only talking about two people who were living together before, or were they speaking in general?
I think in general.
I think in
general.
Have a child and you're living out
because
of wedlock.
sometimes you have a child but you're not living together with the person. But because of, as you know, she was saying, the issues between the parents, right? And you know what those issues are. Sometimes unequated love, jealousy, anger, disappointment. So all these things.
Cheaters. Period. You just can't stop cheating. You know?
That's part of it.
After a while, you know, the
cheating,
partner wants
the lying, right? There will be abuse, physical abuse, emotional abuse,
or financial difficulties. It's a whole lot of things, Andre, that destroys a relationship.
That's right. So you have that, and then now it sinks into this abyss where both of them are taking revenge. I do one thing, and the other person responds to the action by doing something that was going to irk you.
And
right?
It's always, you're not getting, if they're giving a monthly allowance, you're not getting any allowance.
Exactly.
You're not getting this, you're not getting that.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, who is suffering?
The children.
You know?
Or the child. And it's true.
Yeah.
You hear stories, ladies say, oh, he wants me to sleep with him, and if I don't sleep with him, he's not going to feed the child. Right? So they caught between a rock. So the ladies take these things very, very hard, and they develop a resentment toward the guy. Even to say, I have to sleep with you. I know you're living with your lady, or you're all over the place. And for the sake of my child getting a couple $100, I have to go and sleep with you.
And Andre, the worst part is, when you take them to court, it's less than what they possibly were giving you.
Yes.
So you're getting less. Although recently, I think the Prime Minister raised that, or looking into raising it. I'm not too sure.
You mean the support?
For St. Lucia, I'm not too sure.
I don't think they're not
yet.
Looking into that.
Because I thought they were going to raise per child how much one would get. So we need to. I thought I heard something like that. So I'll have to check on that to see if it is so. Maybe somebody can chime in and let us know. But I thought they were going to raise that figure per child.
Well, I hope at some point they do. I hope so. But I was just explaining what the dynamics in the relationships, what causes the parents to be so angry at each other. And I say the revenge thing. So the best advice I can offer for the revenge issue, the lady does you something. Ladies know how to get under the fella's skin. That's a fact. We know a man gets more upset at a woman's actions than a woman gets upset at his actions. It's strange, really, really strange. I've seen it in action already. I've seen it in action where a guy's out with another lady. His ex would come inside there. He's there with his lady.
I mean, his ex. It can't be an ex if she's making a big scene. Why is it an ex? Andre, if she's making a scene, she's not an ex. Maybe she's an ex for the woman he's dating now. But Andre, if I'm your ex, why would I fuss over who you're with? I'm an ex.
Yeah,
Andre, what you mean?
It does happen. You still love this. So
it's not an ex.
There's still that connection
so
there.
It's not an ex.
Of course,
no. Something must
no.
be still happening.
No, the only thing that's happening is that you still love that person. Maybe you're not completely over the individual as yet. It takes a little time. So I was giving a little story, right? And I saw that already for myself, where a guy was out, right? He was out at the country and western dance, Mwetela, right? Mwetela Kashwe. And I mean, I check in the vibe, and I know them. And he's there. He's there with his lady. He's there with his current lady. And the ex now, the one that they broke, she came in there as well, right? But she came there by herself. So while she was there, some guy came to ask her to dance, and then she started going down. You know what I mean? I mean literally going down. I don't know if you know about those things. You probably.
Andre, what you mean by going down?
Past your age?
Which past your age? Andre, what you mean by going down? Speak English, Andre. Going down in dancing or going down in quarreling? What do you mean?
Dancing.
Speak English. Okay,
dancing.
well, she was having a good time.
Right, with another guy.
Yeah.
And imagine, I'm telling you, that happened. The guy now who's out there with the other lady, he left her to come after this lady. He was upset that she was dancing with a guy like that. So he came there and grabbed the lady. He was. I said, "What?"
Andre, obviously it's not over. It's not over.
Well, I don't know for who it's not over.
Nah, it's not over.
All I know is that I'm saying, for peace. For peace, don't do those things. For peace, you understand?
If you've moved on, you've moved on.
Yeah,
you can't have both.
Yeah, I understand exactly. You see the lady dancing, right? You have your lady there. If you don't like what's going on,
she may have been doing it to irritate.
Oh, I was waiting to hear you say it.
She may have been.
I was waiting to hear you say it. Right? Remember, I said to you that ladies have a way.
People like me would.
Ladies have a way. Ladies have a way. You'll whatever you'll do upset the guys more than when the guys do it. That's what point I was making. So I'm happy you said it. We shall end the show right there.
No, I just walk out because that's gonna turn me off on my excitement, and I want to listen to good music and I have a little drink, and you want to socialize as well. That's just gonna change the whole psyche, my whole thoughts,
and especially
process,
if the thing recently broke up. It recently broke up. You know what I mean?
That would be a problem too.
I see you come there. You have somebody there. I'm not staying there. I'm not staying there.
Exactly.
I'm not
That's
staying
exactly what I said. Leave.
I said, Anthony, let's go, Gasa. I said, Anthony, let's go, Gasa.
Yeah, leave, because you can't accept what's happening.
Oh, dear.
Even if you're supposed to be an ex. Andre, listeners, I'm going to drop this there. Maybe it happened to Andre, and he's pretending it happened to somebody else.
I will tell you, I was playing, so it can't be me. It cannot be me. Malaka joué.
Okay, Andre.
One of these good days, I'll tell you something else that happened to me. But that one was not me, because I'm telling you, I wouldn't stay there. I would just leave.
I agree.
I wouldn't stay there.
I agree.
That's
Andre.
for sure.
It's for the better.
One of these good days, I'll give a little score, man.
I want to hear that soon. I don't want to hear one.
What I went through one time. And let me tell you, and nobody knew what I was going through there. Nobody. Anthony was right there. He had no idea.
So did you leave, or you stayed?
No, I couldn't leave because I was playing. I was playing. I could not leave.
Do you think the person knew? Without
if they knew,
that you would be playing?
If they knew.
Oh, no, I wouldn't walk in there.
That was well calculated, man. Yeah. Okay, folks, so we got to wrap it up.
And we got to wrap it up. Stories.
And what I'll do, those of us on Facebook, on YouTube, and X.
Stick around, yeah.
Yeah, stick around. I'm just going to take a little break, just for maybe about 5 minutes or so. They will come back now for the draw for our love story. And we expected to have in studio Enya Williams, marketing manager for JJ's Paradise. She'll be here while we're doing the draw. All right? So this has been Harddrive for today and for this week.
13th.
Yes. Ladies, thank you very much.
13th.
Thank you very much.
Week number 5, Andre. Right here, week number 5.
Brought to you the compliments of Rambali's Funeral Parlor. Again, we'll take a little break from social media and get back to you. All right?
Stick around.
At Randallie's Funeral Parlor, we truly care. During life's most difficult moments, we want you to know you are not alone.